Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to talk a little bit about album reviews, album scoring, when I take things like emotional responses into account. You guys may have seen recently in an interview that I did with Joey Bada that Joey was aware of the fact that the song Survivor's Guilt did in fact make me cry live on stream. I was blubbering a little bit like a baby. I got choked up. It was not like the hardest and most aggressive cry I've had in a video or on a stream in reaction to a piece of music. But still, you know, the waterworks were kind of there for that song because it's a great song. It's a powerful song. It's well written and put together. And I think, you know, really kind of pivotal moment for Joey artistically. And Joey was breaking my balls. Joey was busting my chops a little bit.
So you gave my album a 7 and that shit made you cry, motherfucker?
You know, that's your album's not even the
I
only
should
album.
get extra points. If you drop Waterworks, man, that's extra points, B. Like, you got to think about it. Like, yo, music is all about feeling something.
It's
bro.
true. It's true.
How much music you putting on and you really feeling something?
Joey was giving me a hard time, citing the fact that that song fucked me up, and I still gave his album a 7. Positive score, mind you, positive score. Also, when I posted that clip to social media, of course, the one and only Anderson .Paak came out of the woodwork. Now, Joey personally felt because that song made me cry, he should get extra points. How many, I'm not sure. I have not taken into account crying points before. I've never gone into a review being like, oh shit, this shit made me cry. I got to give it extra cry points. Joey was making some fair points in that conversation because music and listening to music and making music is about the emotion. Primarily, it should be about the emotion. And believe me, when it comes to emotion, I always take that into account when I'm doing a review. I know that a lot of my thoughts and my comments on songs and albums tend to be a little analytical. Maybe it seems like I'm a fucking robot or some shit when I'm giving my thoughts on these records that a lot of people are passionate about, that a fair amount of people are having legitimate and valid emotional reactions to, be it crying or be it excitement, so on and so forth. That in itself is true. But, you know, here's the thing. Here's my thing. Here's the thing for me. When I'm doing an album review, I'm doing a review of that entire body of work, and I cannot necessarily give a record extra points on the whole because a review is a review of the entire album from front to back. I can't be giving a project extra points on the whole just because maybe one single song gave me a very strong reaction. Now, with that being said, I think there's a myriad of very strong and positive ways with which you can react to a piece of music. Crying is one, jumping up out of your seat is another, dancing is another, just happiness and excitement and bliss and so on and so forth. You know, all of those are significant reactions to me. I mean, I don't know how a lot of you guys are. You know, I have been known to get choked up at some songs here and there. I'm very in touch with my emotions, and you know, music brings it out of me. That's not to say that when it does happen, it's not important, that it's not a significant moment every time. May not always happen on camera, but it does happen. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is that I can't give an entire body of work extra points just because I get choked up about a song on it, even if it is a really significant, important, mind-blowing song. I mean, you know, look, those feelings and that reaction for that song is no less legitimate just because I may not like the rest of a project. I mean, hypothetically, you know, how would we feel if I gave a project a 10 out of 10 and there was one single song on it? And not to say this applies to the Joey, because it doesn't, because his, you know, 2000 project is a very solid, very good quality project. You could hypothetically have a record where one single song on it is great or exciting or makes you cry or touches you in some significant way, and then the rest of the record is just not very all that good. It's just not a great record. It could be trash, could be just mediocre. And look, if a song does drill that out of me, I'm happy, absolutely happy to count that track toward my overall feelings on the work, which is why the Joey record was, you know, positive review overall, maybe not the most positive, maybe not leading to the most positive review that I've given him. It's not my favorite record from Joey, but just because 2000 isn't my favorite Joey record, it doesn't mean that Survivor's Guilt isn't one of his best songs, because it most certainly is. An artist at any point in their career can still make some of their best stuff, some of their best tracks, and end up putting them on records that are maybe just okay, or maybe not their top 1 record, maybe not their top 3 record, maybe more of a top 5, maybe even one of their worst records, because hey, even albums that I don't really care for all that much from artists that I've followed pretty closely over the years, A$AP Rocky, for example, Testing. Don't like that project. There's a lot of tracks on there I don't care for at all, leave me scratching my head. I just do not like. But there's still that handful of cuts on there that I think are fantastic, just total bangers, really creative, forward thinking. I have to be aware of my enjoyment of the entire LP, no matter how strong the reactions may be to a handful of tracks. Look, that also goes for songs that I think suck fucking ass, because there are tracks on records here and there that while the entire album or 90% of the record may be good, maybe great, there's that one track, there are those 2 tracks that you think are awful or maybe skips. I'm not going to take those 2 tracks as like, you know, the premier example of the quality of the album. Of course not. That would be ridiculous. So, you know, believe me, this doesn't go in a negative direction either. Like, whether I am reacting to songs that I really love or I really hate, I am still trying to think about the overall picture of the album, of the project that it lands on when I'm giving it a rating. I would not drop significantly the score of an album down like 3 or 4 points just because there's one single track on it that I think is particularly bad. And once more, this is not to take away from Joey's comments about music and emotion. Those are certainly true and most certainly the case. It's just that when I am doing a review, I've got to do it for the entire record. Got to think of the whole thing. If I am giving my feelings, it's got to be on the bigger picture. And yeah, there it is. There you go. My feelings, my thoughts on this funny and interesting reaction and situation. Make sure to give me yours down in the comments, whether they are positive or negative. Let me know. I'm curious to see. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up, or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano. Feelings, crying, music, forever.